Hey guys, Mr. Movie, and today I'll be doing my top 10 2018 movies. So, first I'll just get into some honorable mentions, like Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was a good movie, but it didn't make it. Alpha was a good movie, but it didn't make it, sadly. And Black Panther was a really good movie, but it didn't make it. So, yeah, those are some honorable mentions, and yeah, so number 10 is Instant Family. It was a good true story. I never knew it was a true story until after I saw it. And I give this movie a 93%. It was an emotional story. It was an emotional movie too, and it was also a comedy at the same time, which I thought was a really good mix, and they executed it really well. That's why it is spot number 10. And Eighth Grade is number 9. This was a sad slash funny, an emotional film about eighth grade, and the acting was really well. It made you feel for the character a lot in this movie, and I gave this movie a 93%. So number 8 is The First Man. This movie was, I thought it was kind of a disappointment in a way, but, I thought it was going to be way better, but, it was good. Don't get me wrong, I gave it a 93%, but, I just thought it could have been better in some ways that it wasn't, and although I thought it was a really good movie, the acting was outstanding. The cinematography was done really well. I thought the person I guess went to see it with didn't think it was that good, but cinematography. But otherwise I really enjoyed this movie. And number 7 is The Old Man and the Gun. I gave this movie a 93%. I really enjoyed this movie. I want to get it on DVD so I can put it back there and watch it over and over again. I just thought this movie was portrayed really, like, the actors did really well. There was the one scene that was just amazing where it was a flashback to all of his movies, and all of Robert Redford's movies, and it was just a truly outstanding movie. I would recommend it. And number 6 is Christopher Robin. I give this movie a 94%. It was probably my second favorite kids movie of the year. It was just really good. I liked Winnie the Pooh. I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid, so this was really interesting to see all this, and it was just like such a memorabilia film kind of. I saw a couple like the cartoon Winnie the Poohs in theaters. But I thought this movie was just really good. It was a great story too. And number 5 is Incredibles 2. This was my favorite movie of 2018, although it did get the same score as Christopher Robin at 94%. It still, I thought, was a better movie than Christopher Robin. So, I just really enjoyed the animation that was put into this. I know it's still kind of like blocky-ish, but I always thought this movie could be real, like Brad Bird. He did Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And, he's also done a couple other Disney movies like The Iron Giant and stuff like that. But, this movie I thought was just really good, and enjoyable. So, number 4 is Won't You Be My Neighbor. I gave this movie documentary a 95%. I just thought it was a really good documentary executed really well, and it was just a good documentary. It explained a lot about Fred Rogers and what he did. So, and there's also a Fred Rogers movie coming out this year with Tom Hanks called What a Beautiful Neighborhood, I think. Yeah. So number 3 is Creed 2. I was surprised how good this was. That I thought it was better than the first one. And I think it's the second best in the trilogy of Rocky movies. Although I've only seen the first and Creed, and Creed 2. But I thought this movie was really good. The acting was great. The score was great. It was kind of cool to see a new type of score kind of in here, and they were playing music during it and all that. And it's kind of was cool to see how far Dennis Creed's fame has went since Creed 1, and in the first one I never really liked how Bradley Cooper would have like the stats on the side of him, and in this movie Stephen Cable Jr. did not do that, which I was happy about. But otherwise though, this movie was really good. I gave it 95%. And number 2 is Green Book, also scoring a 95%. I thought this movie was outstanding. The acting was great. Mahershala Ali and Victor Mortensen both did a great job. And all the other actors in this movie. I liked the story too, and I never knew that the guy who wrote it was actually the the guy's kid, so he was kind of in it, not as himself, but he was. He was. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I learned that at the Golden Globes. That was something I liked about that. But and just the directing, I guess, was really cool. There's some really funny scenes actually that I thought were I was kind of surprised to see in a movie that like this, because this movie is sort of serious, and then they just turned it into like, and then they would sprinkle some funny scenes in there, which I thought was really great. And yeah, so number one is Ready Player One. Gave this movie 99%. It's just the only movie this year that made my A+, and I don't know if there's any 2017 movies yet. I'm watching War of the Planet of the Apes right now, so I'm actually watching the trilogy of Planet of the Apes right now, like the newer ones. Right now I'm on Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's a really good movie, but I'll get there. But yeah, so 2018, this movie was a really good movie. It's actually nominated for an Oscar, like the visual effects, which maybe, I don't know, Christopher Robin or Ready Player One of those two I would be happy with. Because I was looking at, I watched a video on the cinematography, how they used it, and they would put like a camera in the VRs, and you would see, and they would film that, which is really great. Also, the voice acting and the actors themselves both did great jobs. Obviously Ben Mendelsohn, he's a spectacular villain. I think he doesn't get enough credit, I think, for what he does, because he was in The Dark Knight Rises. He died out. Yeah, but and he was in Star Wars Rogue One. He's just a really good villain, I think, for any movie. Really, he's always been the villain. So, and yeah, so those are my top 10 2018 movies, and yeah, see you next time, movie fans.